We today are going to be drawing something related with flame. So today we are going to be doing something related to flame. So the whole concept is, so when we think about flame, what comes to our mind? We often think of, the most common thing that will come to our mind is of course fire, right? Fire, flame, and all that. But can we think a little beyond what first appears to our eye? Let's say, like what about fiery creature? Like one of the thoughts that came to mind about flame was Charmander. Right? You all seen Pokemon. How many of you here have not seen Pokemon? Because that's what I should be asking. There's such a popular show, and it still is ongoing, very strong. The first thing, then I wanted to, then I thought that, like, why not try a mythical flaming creature? Hey, good morning, Hema. Why not try a mythical flaming creature? And that's how I came across this idea that I could, in fact, draw Phoenix. And that's exactly what we are doing today, Phoenix. Another idea, another interpretation of the flame can be, um, your love flame or something intense. You can draw an intense moment in your life, something with heat, something regarding, you can show anger and expression. All of these becomes interpretation of the flame. Yes, Krishna, Varda, Karthik, Sushmita, Hema, One Life, all the ones who come regular are here. Superb. I'm loving this morning community, this morning soul flow community. This is like one of my greatest treasures. Yes, I am doing good. Thank you so much for asking. So, they're one of the best treasures of this time. So here I'm going to start. I'm going to start. Yes, Pooja. Good morning. I was wondering where you were. So see, in this one first, I want to start by making the pencil sketch. So let me show you how I'm going to approach a subject like a phoenix here. So here I'll start by just drawing the center guideline, because this line, this guideline, okay, this guideline helps me stabilize the drawing. So I can just see if this is halfway down there. So, okay, it's halfway down there. Makes sense. Then I need to select the top point. So this is how high. This is the topmost point of the wing, and this is where the tail is going to be. So I have set the limits. So my drawing cannot exceed beyond that. Next, what I need to do is I need to know how much height difference will I need for the tail, for the body, and for the head. So for that, I'm dividing this into three parts here, because you know that from here, I know that it's going to be the wings. So from here, it's going to be the wings, and then this much portion is going to be for the body, portion is going to be for the body, and this much is going to be for the tail. So you start dividing the features into such parts, so that there's no confusion as to how big each one of these parts are going to be. After that, you start with the guideline. You start with the sketching, where you draw these out. So you start by just drawing the structure of the wings. You draw that, and then here again you draw the, just give me a minute. You draw out the wings. So you can just draw the structure and then draw the shape following that. So notice how I'm drawing a basic shape for the head. Okay, so at this stage, this can even become the golden snitch. And this is structure for drawing pretty much any bird right there, in this posture. Start by drawing this here, the wings, and here is how the beak is going to be. How the beak is going to be. Like I need to bring in some fine tuning and adjusting here. So the wings, I'll just curve it around here, and I'm going to put it out there. I'm just bringing these fine tuning and adjustments. Similarly, for the body, so for the body also, I'm just starting to draw another circle shape here because the going to be the shape of the body. I'm going to start by curving this out. So if you, even if you have made the pencil sketch, observe how I'm approaching the subject and see how you can change your own approach. Don't even mind, it's okay even if you're starting from scratch, even if you're starting afresh, absolutely no problem. Okay, this is going to be like the so now I have the wing, I have this part of this, so just an extension I'm adding out of this. Once I have the body, I can do anything I want to it. Okay, and here is the legs. So I can just draw this out. Here I can simply sketch out this part here. Just make these light strokes, but make them decisive, right? Bring in a project a certain confidence in the way that you're drawing. Same thing for this. So for this also, I'll first start by only drawing the curves. Okay, so is this the way that you are also drawing, or are you just randomly first drawing the first part, or are you drawing, do you have a method to your drawing? See, starting with the shape, then I'm also starting with the shape. So I have identified the basic shapes and I have drawn the guidelines for that. Drawn the guidelines and the basic shape. Now that I have that set, I can draw out the I can draw out the shapes out of it. So all these, that flaming shape, that curves, and all these changes I can bring in, make it very dynamic. Like the problem that a lot of us bring in when we are sketching is we make it too static. Like we don't bring in that element of dynamism. For example, this one you notice it's really curving outwards. Same thing for this. So you want to bring this dynamic effects. You try and bring those dynamic effects into the drawing as much as possible. Okay. Let me now bring in the fine tuning here by drawing out the shapes. For example, here's a shape that's coming here. Here is this shape. So now that I have the basic shape, I can articulate the different, the flame that's rising out of this. So it starts with the basic shape. And on that shape, you start developing, you simply start developing. Right. Good morning, Lakshmi Sri. You start developing the shapes, right? So here I can start this, then here is going to be the eyes. So I can just draw the eyes. What about the beak? So let me draw the beak. Then here is the head. See, you can draw the head here. The flame that's going to come out of the head, you can draw that. Then here's the shape. There you go. So that's your basic sketch. See how out of nowhere we started off with a line and finally we have the entire sketch ready. How many of you think that is absolutely beautiful? That how within under 10 minutes, in fact, we took 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, we can in fact have something beautiful. This is it that it takes to make a sketch. Just start with the line, draw the shapes, and slowly develop. Once you have the key thing here is to identify the shape and learn to make it proportionate. That's where I think a lot of you falter. You start with the sketch but without doing these basics. Once you have them, the rest simply falls in place. So now I want to start detailing and inking. This is going to take a little while. So now here I'm going to start off with this here, my pen, my regulars 003, 01, okay, 005 and 03. These are going to be my pens that I'm going to be using. Okay, so now I'm going to start. The pens that I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to start with the 005. The 05 pen, and let me just slightly zoom in because I'm going to start drawing out the details here. Okay, so here you start off with the 005 pen. Okay, and you start by merely outlining this. For example, see this, slowly. When you're outlining this, go at it very slowly. Pay attention to each of these nuances where you can really articulate the shape, because once you do this, there is no change that you can bring onto this. So be very careful, be extremely careful as you're doing it. You don't want to mess it up, yet you don't want to keep it too muted. See, there are two common mistakes that I see when someone is outlining. First thing is you don't give it any kind of texture. So it's too muted, it's too dull, no visibility of texture is there. First, second, second thing is you add in too much texture, but without any understanding, without any real understanding of what you're drawing. These are the two common mistakes I've seen. So you want to balance out the both here. See, slowly adding it the tone, the texture, the values. Here also, let me draw this part here. So again, you want to carefully draw this out. So let's add the second. In fact, here the scratching of the the scratching sound of the pen on paper, and that's like the best thing. That's like the best part of this. I love this feeling when the pen is scratching and you just making making the drawing, bringing out the drawing one line after another. Slowly, you see that your vision is coming on the paper. You start with the vision, and then you do it on paper. It's absolutely incredible how this comes out. So you just carefully do this. In fact, as you draw, you must be able to feel the heat of it. Slowly feel the heat of this. Let's move on to this wing here. Okay, hope the zoomed in look works for you. Or I can simply zoom out and get to the regular view. See, notice how I'm moving my hand continuously so that I can get this continuous long line. So don't draw these short lines. Like when we draw, we make this mistake of this short lines, and that's why you need to practice your Zen lines. So that gives you the confidence and the control and everything that you need to draw. So here the curved line. See, I'm drawing out this hands here. Let's do this also. So just pull out one line. Make sure that you're articulating these bends correctly. Then you pull out the other one. You draw this claw. Here again, you draw one more. You draw this claw. Then you do one in the opposite direction, making sure that this also works. And overall, you simply complete this scene. So this works, and then you draw this. Similarly, let me draw this one here. See, pull out these lines. Okay, pull these out. Spread this one, and curve this. You can add these small effects outside, so like it's like this added touch that you're giving to these textures. So this just makes it more like a flame, and it also gives that really cool look. So this really cool fiery look that you can just add. So just outside here you can just put a little bit of dots in this and just make it seem like things are happening, right? So there's no rule as to where to place this. You're just simply placing it so as you can get that fairy aesthetics. And here again you do this. curve this out here. Here, this one is rather heavy in terms of the number of lines that we need. You see, it's pretty intense in terms of the sheer number of lines that the drawing takes. So let's draw this side out here, curving this out and coming in. Okay. Love the way this is turning out. Now let me add this tail here. So you can define these edges. Okay. You can show these, this fiery parts, this flame that's just coming out. Just draw these. This just helps add that textural look, right? Thank you so much, Lakshmi. Thank you so much for that. It's you who's attending, it's you who's following, so you deserve. Okay. Then here again, can you like these are like the small touches that we did, just showing you how that can be done. Now let's get into the more serious matters. Let's get into the adding in the details for this. So when you notice here, there are some areas that are light, there are some areas that are medium, there are some areas that are dark. So the light areas you want to do as less lines as possible, whereas the middle and the dark tones you want to add in more depth. So here for the light areas, I now need to start adding in strokes inside the same way that I had it go outside. I need to start adding in strokes inside. So identify the light areas. The light areas here in this, with regards to the drawing, because it's a colored one, will include the really white and yellow areas. The dark ones, the medium ones will include the orangish areas, and the really dark ones are the red areas, are the red lighted areas. So you can see whatever I am leaving as blank is the yellowish area. Now what I'm sketching with the 005 pen are the orange lines. So here you can see there are a lot of orange lines here. What I'm sketching is precisely that, all those orange lines. Later, I'll switch to a darker pen, much more darker pen, and I'm going to be sketching here. For example, I can show these areas. So these are like the really dark areas. For that, I'm going to draw with a 0. You can use a 01 or a 03 pen. You can use a 01 or a 03 pen and work that out. So understand, this is how you can bring in depth to your drawing. Back here, so you can simply start by articulating these, and like just look at the patterns these flames are creating and draw that. This is more or less like a tattoo art. You're creating designs on the paper, so have fun drawing these designs. Once you have the outline and the shape ready, the rest of the rest of it is just designing. Look at the red, the really red areas, and draw them with a bolder pen. Look for the orange areas, draw them with a lighter pen. See the yellow areas and leave them as it is. You don't have to do anything about it. See, now slowly you're working one line after another. You're drawing this, you're adding this, you're adding this here. Let's add a stroke. Hit again. And then here are the orange tones. So I'm drawing the orange tones now with the 005 pen. So let's apply the same for this head as well. Okay, so here I'm just darkening this edge here, darkening around the region of the eyes. Here the mouth, I'm just blackening the mouth, of course. Just add a little bit of strokes here. And I'm sketching this part out here. Okay, let me sketch this here. And similarly, I want to draw out the tail. So notice how I'm starting out with the really dark and the black areas. So you can model like this. You can model your drawing to go like this, where you're starting from the black and the dark areas. Or you can model your drawing like this. Or you can do the middle tone areas and then do the light tone areas. Let me show you that approach for the next one here. I think one of the good ways that you can do is see for what's majority in that. Like for some areas, they are majorly dark, so they have a lot of really red and dark flames. You work by darkening that, and then work your way outwards, because blending always works best. A lot of this is about blending, like you're blending out the darker tones to the lighter tones, and blending outways, as in you're blending from the dark tone to the lighter tone, is always easier and looks much better than trying to blend it inwards. And I can just add a little bit of final touches here with my strokes that I blend out. So here, similarly, here's this. And I can draw this. See, I love the way this is looking right now. Let me draw out this uh, the wings here. So for the wings, I can see that a lot of areas are kind of light. And if you're confused, like if you're ever confused on which direction to take your strokes in, you can use your pencil and you can draw these guidelines here like this. You can just sketch lines like this, and that shows exactly how it goes. So it's like really cool design that you're making. You just make these lines with pencil, just flowing along the direction of the wing, right? Just flowing along the direction of the wing. You just make these lines, and similarly we can just start off the sketch. See, just drawing the lighter orangish flame, and notice how it's keeping up with the direction. So overall it's contributing to the direction. So one of the mistakes that we often make when we are drawing a lot is we tend to one of the mistakes that we make while we try and draw this is we tend to distort the shape as we draw, like we really don't understand how the shape works, and with every line we draw it takes us away from the shape. What you need to remember is that every line you draw has to contribute towards the shape. Here I'm drawing this, here sketching this here. So just let's simply pull this out. Similarly, let's pull this one out here. Let's pull this out here. See? So let's darken this area. And here you simply blend it out. There you go. Love the way this is turned out. So even these ones, you can just darken them, just adding a nice touch to it. Okay, this is really looking fiery and flamey, is it not? Now I have to draw the legs. So the legs are very easy. As for the legs, you want to add these. You can see these grooves on the legs, right? For a bird's leg, you can always see these grooves. You want to draw these grooves here. Draw these grooves here, and of course, just shade in between this so that this doesn't look like you haven't done anything. And after that, just darken this. So just Use a nice bold pen and darken one of these edges. And similarly, here is this. So how do you draw the lines for this? So for example, you start by drawing out the shapes. We're nearly finishing this, okay? 40 minutes. I don't intend any of these sessions to go for more than 40 minutes. It's like working out. Even when you're working out, so people think that you need to spend hours at the gym and all that. I used to be one such believer. I would spend like I mean I'm not even joking when I say this. I've spent two and a half. I used to spend 2.5 hours in the gym working out, trying out different cardio, martial arts, lifting, and all that. But one, after that, I felt so tired that I didn't have any energy for anything else. And secondly, it has only been counterproductive as I was losing my strength instead of gaining it, as because I was overexerting. I was only losing my strength. It is then I learned the science behind it, and I just limited my working out to 40 minutes. So now I no longer spend more than the maximum time I spend at the gym per day per session is 1 hour. That includes my warming up and stretching. So keeping my workout short and intense made me get stronger as well. It's a myth. If you think that you need to spend hours and hours at the gym, it's a short but intense is good enough. See here, it's exactly what we're doing. These are short but intense sessions. Every day you come, you are learning. You're learning new things. You're getting, you're more inspired. You're leaving back with the fuel that you need more. So here I'm just darkening. So I'm working on this. So for this one, probably I'll use an even darker tone of pen because I can see some really dark tones. For example, these areas I can see some really dark tones that I can go beyond. So for that one, I'm using my 0.3 pen. So I'm using my 0.3 pen and I'm working out these edges because this has this level of depth that even my 0.1 pen cannot capture. So I can just use this. Let's simply project this outwards and see how this goes. So you want to project, you want to really make these areas nice and bold, and from here on start with that and so do you project it outwards, gradually reducing the stroke depth as we go. Okay, and similarly here also, just as I reach more outwards, it's very sparingly few areas I just have to darken very intense, just darken with this level of intensity. And here I want to just darken this area. See, notice how it's spreading itself out. These are really spreading itself out. So here again, I just do this. Here I darken this. Here I am bringing these. And finally, there. There you go. I love the way this is turned out. Absolutely loving the way this is turned out now. Can't wait to zoom out. Looks lethal exactly. Right? There you go. So that's the work. That's the work. What do you think of this? I absolutely love the way this has come out. Loving the textures along this, all this, the black, white design. Once you erase it, that's when the real beauty comes out, and you can really see the different tonal values that you placed. If you want, you can add in a little more, like how I'm doing here, for example. I just feel that this area could have a little more work. You can add a little more. What you cannot do is subtract. So you cannot remove any lines that you placed. But I think there is no need. There is absolutely no need for that. So what do you think of today's sketch? I think today's is the most detailed and intricate sketch. And the fact that we did this under 40 minutes, right? The exact timing that I'm seeing is 42 minutes, 21 seconds. We did this in 40 minutes with the pencil sketch is commendable. Congratulations to you all for keeping up with me. I'm going at a good pace and it's you who is keeping up. So congratulations for that. And I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this morning community. Let's see again tomorrow what's going to be tomorrow's prompt. We'll see again tomorrow for day 6 bouquet. So bouquet is going to be interesting. We're going to be drawing a flower. So see you again then. Day 6 bouquet. And bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. The most wonderful day. Take care.